Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Tefel and mTwNani here on Lost Temple. We have Tefel spawning as the red Zerg player over here at the 1 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have mTwNani spawning as the Protoss player over here at the 8 o'clock position. It is going to be Zerg versus Protoss, and it should be a fairly interesting matchup. I did like Game 1. If you didn't see it, I guess I won't talk about it because I don't want to spoil any of the other games just in case you guys are watching this out of order. Anyways, mTwNani looking to probably just start with a standard economic build. No, for some reason queuing up an additional probe, so this 10th pylon will be late. No pylons being built, perhaps trying to drop a pylon here. Okay, so he's going to go for what I believe to be a 4-gate... Okay, normally what happens here is a probe will go ahead and come back here, mine, come back here, drop down a gateway, return with those minerals, and then drop down that forge or that second gateway. So a little curious on what mTwNani's exact strategy is there. Moving out with that probe wanting to make sure that the extended sight does not reveal anything on that gateway, and now moving out with this probe, gonna be able to do some scouting. Coming back in, Tefel, and now dropping down the spawning pool, a standard 14 spawning pool, nothing too out of the ordinary with this. We'll see if when this assimilator is going to be coming down. Assimilator would indicate a speed link upgrade, or there's so many different ways that a Zerg player can go when he drops down the assimilator. He can go for banelings, go for roaches, go for a quick tier 2. It's much more difficult trying to figure out the strategy of a Zerg player in the very early portion of the game just by doing any scouting. Probe still wandering around on the inside of the space, and with no Vespene Geyser going up, that would indicate to me a very, very heavy tier 1, a lot more Zerglings than normal. Also, mTwNani trying to do a quick check, seeing if there was a hatchery down there. No hatchery being placed down. However, Tefel was able to scoot around with a single drone. And now mTwNani still does not know that there is a hatchery there, so that hatchery is going to get placed down. And now a Zealot coming in. That Zealot will see that hatchery and is not going for it. Production-wise, 6 Zerglings already being produced. And well, I do not think that single Zealot will be able to take down this hatchery, perhaps when another Zealot joins in on that fight, but there's also some Zerglings coming in as well, so those Zerglings may be able to take down that one probe and then try to take down that those Zealots. That probe is very, very critical to take down, as that probe almost counts as an additional Zealot because it's one round of attack. That's all the Zealot really needs. Drones now coming in as well, almost getting a surround off on the Zealot. Probes coming in to do a little bit of an engagement, and mTwNani doing a probe and Zealot push against Zerg very, very early in the game. Very, very difficult to deal with. It's really going to take all the micro that Tefel has in order to engage this. Zergling's now getting taken down. However, this hatchery is still being produced, and that is absolutely huge. Queen now running over, and that Queen getting a couple hits off on some of these units. Hatchery already down to 300 hit points. Things not looking good. More drones coming in to engage on this fight, and this Queen down to 156 hit points, and those units are going to be forced to pull away. Tefel doing a great job with only 200 mineral army of Zerglings, able to hold off a 600 army army of Zealots. Zealots now continuing to come in. No transfusion yet from this Queen. That is a big surprise, as I'm assuming that Queen would want to try to transfuse to try to heal up that hatchery. Zerglings getting caught out of position. That single Queen fighting in between those mineral patches will be very difficult to get a surround off on. Drones coming in, lending their claws in order to dish out that damage. Tefel, however, taking a lot of damage here, and a lot of a very, very even fight up until that end. That Queen able to just hold off the rest of those units. We should see a spawn larva. There we go. Another spawn larva coming in. Army-wise, mTwNani sitting on 200 mineral, just 2 Zealots. Also having a forge and also getting a photon cannon on that front door. Photon cannon getting one shot off on that Overlord before that Overlord flies away. And Queen wants to do a little bit of kiting of her own in trying to engage these units. And now those Zealots will be forced to run back away and will not be able to engage. Investor-wise and harvester-wise, Tefel's down to 7 harvesters, so it is a definite economic advantage for Nani. Nani should just either tech up or macro up, perhaps get to Colossus. Did not build that cybernetics core earlier, as he invested so much into that early army. Looking into the base of Tefel, oh, in comes a Zealots trying to take down the hatchery, able to get down the hatchery at the cost of all of those Zealots, however. So 2 Zealots being used in order to trade off against that hatchery, and wow, what a heavy loss for Tefel. Tefel losing that hatchery there. However, he, economically speaking, he's not going to be that much farther behind because he only had 7 drones to begin with. Queen once again using that spawn larva on this hatchery over here. Zergling's able to do a quick run by, and now Zergling's running straight into the base, going after some of these probes. Zapping BAP, trying to get this fight on, and now we have a chrono boost on this cybernetics core. Drones, or the probes, now being transferred to the main, to the natural expansion as those Zealots are trying to chase down those Zerglings. Zergling's going to get another probe kill, and at the cost of 1 Zergling, another Zergling very low, more warp in, but there's only a single gateway, so Nani is very behind in terms of production as well. Tefel can still win this. Excuse me, what happened? Yeah, Tefel can still win this, and it looked like I rewound in just a little bit. I don't know how. Zergling's now coming in to do a little bit of an engagement here, trying to get in a couple more zaps. As those Zerglings just dancing back and forth, double simulators being placed down, and those Zerglings will get taken down. However, 1 more probe was finally taken down as well. A single gateway being warped in by Nani. Nani realizing that he needs to get a stronger economy, a stronger production base, and puts down another gateway and a robotics facility. So going 2 gate into Robo Bay, very standard build. Zergling's still running rampant inside the rest of this base. Tefel now sitting at 19 harvesters compared to 28. Very small army. A single probe getting taken down as well. Still, this is now Tefel or Nani's game to lose. Nani, as long as he can produce additional probes, he does have double nexuses up, so will also have more chrono boost to use as well. Should be able to get a stronger economy very quickly. Single Zealot or single Sentry and those Zealots sitting there, those Zerglings would not be able to come in or to engage these units, and a single pylon or 2 pylons operating the majority of these buildings here. Zerglings once again running back home. Roach Ward now being laid down. We'll see what the production is going to look like for Tefel. Tefel wanting to continues to spawn larvae out of this hatchery, trying to get as much production as possible. Zealots and Sentries moving on out, wants to make sure that there is no expansion here. Robo Bay should be completed. We should be getting some sort of observer in just a moment, and not getting that observer just quite yet. Don't know why. Now getting an Immortal, so Immortal's now being trained up as those warp gates are going to be able to warp in more and more units. A single observer, observer now already in the air. More roaches now being coming in, and we also getting the weapons upgrade as well. Sentry is being warped in, and Stalkers very smart, as he's significantly gas heavy at this stage in the game. Roach is now coming in. Are we going to get a Guardian Shield, or perhaps trying to get a force field to try to trap some of those roaches in there? If he can trap those roaches and split up the rest of that army, that would be absolutely huge. What Nani really needs to get a force field in, now taking down one of those photon cannons, and this is a horrible mistake by Nani. Nani really needs to engage with this army in order to try to fend off this attack, and finally moving out with this army. A second pylon being placed down in order to overlap some of these buildings. It's all going to be about proper force field use if Nani wants to win this. No Guardian. Okay, finally has some Guardian Shields. Force fields coming in, moving the rest of these roaches. Roaches now getting a little bit split up. A single Immortal dishing out a lot of that damage, already getting 6 kills, and Tefel's army is now just simply getting destroyed, getting it taken down. Roaches should be taken down without any real issue. However, these roaches doing a weird micro dance, able to prolong their damage, and then Tefel says GG. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this replay here from Lost Temple, Zerg versus Protoss.